So many people have really beautiful before and after pictures when it comes to dietary changes or anytime they do anything in the gym that may be a little bit different. But I feel like all of our bodies are kind of just on a journey, and I'm going to take you through a lot of pictures and some video of all the things I've been through. And when it comes to things like pregnancy, I know a lot of women fear getting pregnant because it changes their body, and it does, but sometimes it's not a big deal. Postpartum is a beautiful thing. You're always amazed at what your body can do. It built a human, you're feeding another human, and then it's just shrinking down on its own. Obviously, if you've got some great habits instilled while you were pregnant and after, diet wise or fitness, and it doesn't have to be extremes, things might come a little bit easier to you. But I just wanted to take you on my journey since the end of 2013 and see what we have here. I went plant-based December 2013, and I was pregnant with my daughter all the way through and gave birth to her in September. So here's a collage right here of that whole interaction, and I guess it'll be right here. You'll see where I was pregnant and throughout, and then also postpartum right afterwards. And I was just amazed at my body at that point. It's always been about 2 years postpartum when I always felt my best in my body, but that's because nursing or breastfeeding afterwards can kind of take it out of you as well. Sometime in 2017, I went a little crazy with the dieting, and I leaned right out to the point where it was starting to mess with my period, and I didn't exactly appreciate that or like that. It gave me a little bit of insomnia, and that's when I thought all dieting was bad and evil. And afterwards, I kind of relaxed my diet, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't get too far into it, and I was able to easily get pregnant in 2020. So here's what I looked like growing a baby in 2020. And it went well. That pregnancy was good. It was my singleton pregnancy, my second singleton pregnancy. Knowing what I knew from my first pregnancy, I knew it would take a while for me to feel better in my body. And of course, 2 years rolls around, and it's about then that I started feeling pretty good about myself. And then after that, I got pregnant again in 2023. We had meant to have one more baby, and then we got pregnant with twins. This is the largest I've ever been and the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. And postpartum was very different. I had swelling right after I had babies. I couldn't move as well. My belly was more distended after having the babies. You'll see in the photos how it's so different from my other two pregnancies. And I didn't let that scare me because, once again, I knew that the magic of your body doing its thing and healing would take some time. And you do look and feel beat up for a while, but that's all right. Things come around. And actually, I found some photos from maybe a year postpartum, and I was feeling pretty good about myself at that point. I was pretty tight with the dieting at that point. This is probably when I started sticking to habits with groups and coaching like Chelsea May Cullen. And I would say 1 year postpartum from twins, I'm doing all right there. I do want to point out that a lot of people would say, oh, well, you've always been skinny. And that is true for the most part, especially in today's age. I've always been fairly small compared to most. I am built a little wider than a lot of people, but I would say I was relatively active and lean. I just wasn't always super tight lean. And I had moments. I've got photos here of what I looked like before I had any babies, just to prove that it is consistent diet and fitness movement practices that keep what you have. So it's not all genetic. Genetics are obviously going to make up a good portion of how you're going to look. However, how you eat and how you move plays a huge role, and I think my photos say a lot for that. Before I was pregnant, a lot of people say they wish they could look like what they did when they were in high school, and I would disagree. I don't want to do that. I guess as I keep getting older, I just enjoy where I'm at. So it's all a journey, and we just have to appreciate where we are, because when we're looking back at all these pictures, and it's kind of fun to watch what you were like in the past, you kind of look at it all like it was all beautiful, and I was kind of sad that I didn't see a lot of pictures where I felt self-conscious about myself, and now I would have appreciated having them today. So here it is.